students, welcome to Dakshina E-Classroom. So guys, how are you all? I hope you all are well and you are studying very well. So we will be discussing here the solution of DRT1, the first test of your revision test series. And I had already mentioned that this test is going to be very easy, and it was very easy, and I hope you all have scored very well. So we will be starting. The first question is A is equal to 2i cap plus 3j cap. B is equal to I cap minus alpha j cap. A is perpendicular to B, then what is the value of alpha? Very simple question. Everyone must have done this, है ना? So very simple questions. A is perpendicular to B, मतलब simply A dot B will be equal to 0. A dot B, what will be A dot B? This into this plus this into this. So 2 into 1 it is 2, 3 into minus alpha it is minus 3 alpha is equal to 0, alpha is equal to 2 by 3. Very simple question, correct? So here you don't have to write all these things. Even without writing you can solve this problem. Just look at A, B, take A dot B in your mind and then equate it to 0. Simply you can do it in 15 seconds, just 15 seconds, clear? Now question number 2. Vector A makes equal angles with x, y and z axis. When you read this equation or when you read this line, you should have in your mind that it is making equal angle with all the three axes x, y and z. It means if you will take component of that vector in x, y or z, it is going to be same, right? Because it is making the angle, same angle with all three axes, it means component in all three directions will be same. By reading first sentence, we can assume or we can understand this thing. Value of its component in terms of magnitude of A will be. So just we have to find out the magnitude. Now we know that in x, y and z, all three directions, it is going to have the same value or same component. So what I can write, A is equal to ai cap, yeah, capital A, what I am trying to say is capital A is equal to ai cap plus aj cap plus ak cap. I can write it like this. In all three directions, it is going to have the same value. So ai cap plus aj cap plus ak cap. Now if you take the magnitude, mod of A is going to be equal to a square plus a square plus a square whole root. So it will be a root 3. So from here, value of A will be equal to mod of A divided by root 3. That is the component. Component in A, component in x, component in y, component in z. All of them are equal to mod of A vector divided by root 3. So the component will be A by root 3. This is also a very simple problem. Question number 3. Figure shows three vectors A, B and C where R is the midpoint of PQ, then which of the following relations are correct? So third question is, diagram is given. So we have, this is point O, this is point Q and this vector is B, this vector is A, this point is P and this is C point, R point, and this vector is C. So now they are saying we have to find out which of the following is a correct equation. So first equation is A plus B is equal to 2C. Let's see if this is correct or not. So if you see here A plus B will be equal to what? If you make the parallelogram, this will be the A plus B vector. R vector, which is equal to A plus B, will be the diagonal of this parallelogram. This is the parallelogram of vector addition. So this is going to be the A plus B. Now in this parallelogram you can see that this is first diagonal, this is second diagonal, correct? And this is the half of the diagonal, this is the half of the diagonal. Clear? है ना? यहाँ से यहाँ जो जाएगा from this vertex to this vertex, the midpoint, the line joining this point and midpoint of this diagonal will be definitely half of this diagonal. The line joining this point and midpoint of this line or this diagonal, it means I am talking about this line, it is going to be half of the parallelogram's diagonal, half of this diagonal, and half of this diagonal will be half of the resultant. So what I can write, this complete resultant I can write C plus C, है ना? This is C vector, this is C, this is C. This is half of the complete diagonal. So C and C. So this complete is 2C and 2C is nothing but, this complete is nothing but resultant A plus B. So first equation itself is the correct answer. So first option will be correct. Now rest of them you can check. ठीक है, तो बहुत difficult नहीं है, you can do it. ठीक है, तो rest of them you can check. जैसे यहाँ बोला A plus B is equal to C. So A plus B is equal to this. So how it can be equal to C? Definitely it is wrong. है ना? A plus B is equal to this much and C is only this much. ठीक है. Question number 4. If resultant vector C is equal to A plus B, fourth question, C is equal to A plus B, A, B, C are non-zero vectors having equal magnitude. ठीक है. This is one equation which is given and it is also given that mod of A is equal to mod of B is equal to mod of C. A, B, C are non-zero vectors having equal magnitudes such that mod A is equal to mod B is equal to mod C. Then the angle between vector A and vector C is, what is the angle between A and C? So I hope you have used this a lot of time, that when we have vector A and vector B and if they are making 120-degree angle between them, if they are making 120-degree angle between them, then the resultant A plus B का जो मैग्नीट्यूड होगा, है ना, जो A plus B रिजल्टेंट, जो दिस वेक्टर, जो ये वेक्टर आएगा, दैट विल बी इक्वल टू, यहाँ पे जैसे C गिवन है, तो इनका मैग्नीट्यूड क्या होगा, इंडिविजुअल वेक्टर के इक्वल होगा, है ना. इफ यू हैव टू वेक्टर्स A and B and if they are making 120-degree angle between them, if they have 120-degree angle between them, then their resultant will pass from the angle bisector, or the resultant will be at angle bisector, and the magnitude of this resultant will be equal to magnitude of those individual vectors. ठीक है. If you have vector A and vector B which are having equal magnitude and having 120-degree angle between them, then their resultant will be equal to the individual magnitude. The resultant vector will have magnitude equal to the magnitude of these individual vectors, and what will be the angle? It will bisect the angle between them. So it means it will make 60 degree with this and 60 degree with this. Definitely आप करके देख सकते हो. Let's say first have magnitude A, second one is also having magnitude A, and angle between them is 120 degree. Then what will be the resultant? A square plus 2AA cos 120 degree. Cos 120 degree means minus half, है ना, minus half, ये यहाँ से यहाँ cancel हो गया, so what we'll get it is equal to A. minus half से 2 cancel हो गया, and then this minus A square plus A square, it will be A. Clear? So यहाँ पे when you have two vectors of same magnitude making 120-degree angle, you will get the resultant which will have the value equals to the individual vectors, and it will bisect the angle between them. It means it will make 60 degree with both the vectors. So they are asking angle between A and C. So here we have, this has A magnitude, this has A magnitude, this is also having A magnitude. And now this is A vector, this is B vector, and this is C vector, which is satisfying the condition of the question. So what it is making? It is making 60 degree with the C is making 60 degree with the A vector. So angle between vector A and vector C is pi by 3. Now while explaining, it has taken a lot of time, but when you are solving this problem, when you read this, if resultant vector C is equal to A plus B, where A, B, C are non-zero vectors having equal magnitudes, immediately that should click in your mind that these vectors A and B are having equal magnitude, and if resultant is also having the same magnitude, it means they are making 120-degree angle between them, and C will bisect the 120-degree angle. It means C will make 60 degree with A, C will make 60 degree with B, B and A and B will have 120-degree angle between them. ठीक है, हो गया आपका तुरंत क्वेश्चन सॉल्व. So answer will be pi by 3. Question number 5. A physical quantity has direction. A physical quantity which has a direction must be a vector, may be a vector, may be both scalar and vector, none of the above. Must be a vector, ऐसा दिमाग में आता है, but may be a vector will be correct because current is also having a direction. Current also has a direction, but it is not a vector. For a quantity to be vector, it should have magnitude definitely, direction, plus it should follow the parallelogram law of vector addition that is not followed by current. So if it is having a direction, it means it may be a vector, not necessarily it may be a vector, है ना, because current is not a vector. So answer will be may be a vector. Question number 6. A hollow conducting sphere is placed in an electric field produced by a point charge placed at P as shown in the figure. So we have a conducting hollow sphere. This is point A, this is point C, this is point B, and here at point P we have kept a charge. A hollow conducting sphere is placed in an electric field produced by a point charge placed at P. Let VA, VB and VC be the potentials at points A, B and C respectively then. VA, VB and VC. ठीक है? So here field of this point charge is there in this area and there we have kept a hollow conducting sphere. So A, B and C are the points where potentials are like this. Then VC greater than VB, VB greater than VC, VA greater than VB, VA equals to VC. So we know that whatever field it will create, the electrons inside this metal will adjust themselves such that the electric field inside the metal is zero. क्योंकि जब तक electric field is there inside the metal, electron will keep moving. When the resultant field inside the metal will become zero, then they will stop. So they will adjust themselves such that the field inside this metallic conductor or the metallic sphere is zero. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे क्या है, electric field is zero. तो ये कैसा बन गया, equipotential surface. So it will be a equipotential surface and all these will be equal to each other. क्योंकि अगर potential difference होगा, then the electrons will keep on moving, which will not happen. क्योंकि ये तब तक मूव करेंगे जब तक वो अपने आप को स्टेबलाइज ना कर लें कि अब मूव नहीं करना है, अब कोई मूव करने वाले चांस ही नहीं है, तो तब तक चलेंगे जब तक इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड जीरो नहीं हो जाता. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड जीरो, इसका मतलब पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस जीरो, है ना. सो ऑल द पॉइंट्स विल बी एट सेम पोटेंशियल. V is equal to VB is equal to VC. So answer will be V is equal to VC, which is given in the fourth option. Question number 7. A thin metallic spherical shell contains a charge Q on it. Again, metallic spherical shell contains a Q charge on it. A point charge small q is placed at the center of the shell and another charge Q1 is placed outside it. यहाँ पे Q है and here we have kept Q1. All the three charges are positive. The force on the charge at the center is. So it's something like a cavity. और ये आपको तो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक में अच्छे से पढ़ाया गया होगा. Again, if you draw a Gaussian surface here, है ना, इस पे हमें निकालना है. इस पे हमें, इस पॉइंट चार्ज पे हमें फील्ड निकालना है या फोर्स निकालना है. द फोर्स ऑन द चार्ज एट द सेंटर. सो फर्स्ट व्हाट वी विल सी कि यहाँ पे अगर हमें गॉसियन सरफेस लें तो उस पे कोई इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड है या नहीं. सो इफ यू सी हियर देयर इज नो चार्ज इनक्लोज्ड. इनकी वजह से कोई यहाँ पे फील्ड नहीं है. अगर यहाँ पे कोई फील्ड नहीं है तो अगर यहाँ पे कोई चार्ज रखा हुआ है तो वो भी कोई फील नहीं करेगा, है ना. वो भी कोई फील नहीं करेगा, खुद की वजह से फील्ड तो फील नहीं करेगा ना. So by surrounding charges there is no field because इस surface के अंदर there is no charge enclosed. So there is no field because of these two charges. So the force acting on this charge will be zero. Correct? So किसी भी आप अगर cavity की बात करो, whenever we have a cavity inside a metallic conductor, electric field in that cavity is zero. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे आपका जो आंसर आएगा दैट विल बी फोर्थ ऑप्शन. नेक्स्ट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. 3 चार्जेस आर अरेंज्ड ऑन द वर्टिसेस ऑफ एन इक्विलेटरल ट्रायंगल एज शोन इन द फिगर. फाइंड द डाइपोल मोमेंट ऑफ द कॉम्बिनेशन. सो हियर इफ यू सी केयरफुली व्हाट वी कैन राइट, Q and Q. So this will be one set, this will be another set. So what we'll have, this dipole moment will be in this direction will be something like this and its direction will be something like this. And definitely because it is an equilateral triangle, this is D. So this P will be, P is equal to QD in this direction. So one QD is like this or one P is like this and another P is like this. And what is the angle between them? Angle between them is 60 degree. है ना? It is 60 degree. So what will be the resultant? It will be P square plus 2PP cos 60 which is half. So we will have P root 3. और अगर आपको डायरेक्टली याद है कि when we have 60 degree we get if A and it is at 60 degree resultant will be A root 3. So A root 3, P root 3 and it is QD root 3. Answer will be QD root 3 which is given in the first option. Next question number 9. A charge Q is divided into two parts, Q and Q minus Q. Capital Q was the initial charge and it is divided into small q and Q minus Q. Then the force of repulsion between them will be maximum when? So we have divided it in Q and Q minus Q and kept them at separation of capital R. The force of repulsion between them will be maximum when? So what will be the force? Force will be equal to K Q minus Q divided by R square. Now if we want to find out the maximum force, what we'll do? Just differentiate it. So we'll have dF with respect to what? We have to differentiate with respect to Q because the separation between them is fixed. It is capital R. The capital Q is fixed. So with what we'll differentiate? With respect to dq. है ना? So यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा? K divided by R square is constant. Keep Q constant. Differentiate this. So we will have -1 plus keep this constant. Differentiate this. So we will have 1 here. So it will be now equated to 0. So what we'll get? Q minus 2Q is equal to 0. It means Q is equal to capital Q by 2. So when value of small q is equal to capital Q by 2, the force between them will be maximum. Clear? So answer will be second option. Question number 10. What is the angle between the electric dipole moment and the electric field strength due to it on the equatorial line? So this is a theoretical question. If you remember, when we find out field at the axial line, it is in this direction, in the same direction, and when we find it out on the equatorial line, it is in the opposite direction to the direction of dipole moment. So electric field strength and dipole moment will be at 180 degree, exactly opposite, or you can say anti-parallel. So answer will be 180 degree. Question number 11. A ring of radius capital R carries a uniformly distributed charge plus Q. A point charge minus Q is placed on the axis of the ring at a distance 2r from the center of the ring and released from rest. It is released from here, released from rest. The particle executes a SHM along the axis of the ring, moves to the center of the ring and remains at rest there, executes oscillatory motion but not SHM, moves through the center of the ring to infinity along the axis. So what will happen? So if you release it, definitely, if you release it from here, this ring is going to attract it. Okay? So it is going to attract it. So slowly it will come like this. Slowly its speed will increase. Up to this point, the ring is going to apply a force in this direction. When the charge reaches at the center, the force from the ring will be equal in all the directions. So force at that point will be 0. So now at that point force is 0, but it has gained some velocity. So it will move further. So it has some high velocity, it will move further, but now ring will attract like this. So its speed will decrease. So slowly, because force is acting opposite to the direction of motion, slowly velocity will decrease. It will become 0 at some point. The particle will come at rest momentarily, and then again because force is continuously acting in this direction, it will move back and it will keep on repeating the motion. So it is an oscillation, but it is SHM or not, that will check if we have restoring force equal to or proportional to the distance. Okay? So let's say at point or at distance 2r we have released the charge. We have released the charge here. So at some instant it is at x distance. let's say it is at some x distance. So what will be the force or what will be the field at that point? So here we have, इसी को x लिख देते हैं. So let's say this distance is x. So now what will be the force on this ring, on this charge due to ring? So let's say here we are taking dq, here we are taking dq, small charge, small element, and we are finding out the field or force on this particle due to this, and then we integrate over the ring. So if you see here, because of this dq, there will be a force which will be in this direction, and similarly because of this there will be attractive force in this direction. And if you see here, because of this dq and because of this dq, there will be components, component of this force in this direction and in this direction. Because of this, it will be in this direction and in this direction. So these two will get cancelled, these two will get added. So if it is theta, if this is theta, then there will be, let's say this was f, this was f, then this will be f sine theta, f sine theta, f sine theta, or let's say it is df, because this is due to these two charges dq dq, so let's say it is df. The force is df because of those small charges. So df sin theta will get cancelled, and df cos theta will get added. So because of that we'll have 2 df cos theta. Now what will be the value of theta? What will be the value of df? So that we'll find out. So 2 df. So df will be k. Just we are finding out this df. Force on this charge because of this dq. So क्या आएगा यहाँ पे? q k q by r square. Now this distance is r, this is x, so r square plus x square का root. So r square plus x square का root, and then again we'll square because k q by r square, so it will become r square plus x square into cos theta. Cos theta will be this divided by this. So that is x divided by r square plus x square to the power half. है ना? This is what? R square plus x square to the power half. So now this is 2 df cos theta. So this is because of these two charges. है ना? Because of this charge we had df, and when we took this part also in consideration, what we saw that df sin theta got cancelled. Now we have only df and df here. Clear? Now when you will integrate this part, what will get? This complete charge will become q, because all these are constant. When this particle at this x point, so in that case the force due to the complete ring will be equal to, so all these quantities are going to be constant when that particle is at x. So when you integrate this dq will become q when you integrate it over the ring. So we will have 2k q by r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2, and here also we have x. So now force is, it has a proportionality with x, but also there is a x in the denominator. So it is not the equation of SHM. It is not completely same as the equation of SHM. So definitely it will oscillate, but it is not going to perform the SHM. Clear? Because we are not, the force is not satisfying, which is valid for SHM. So answer will be executes oscillatory motion but not SHM. This question has come in previous year's papers, and this is a very famous question. So you should be able to solve it. Question number 12. Mass of charge q is m. Mass of charge 2q is 4m. If both are released from rest, then what will be the kinetic energy of q at infinite separation? What will be the kinetic energy of q at infinite separation? So we have, this is the system where we have q and 2q as charge. So these two are released from rest. Now what is going to happen? Initially they have some potential energy. The system has some potential energy. Clear? Finally they are going to have some kinetic energy, and because they will be at infinite separation, the separation between them will be infinite, then the potential energy will become zero. है ना? क्योंकि infinite separation एक दूसरे से कोई interaction ही नहीं है. The potential energy will become zero and they will have some kinetic energy. So first equation will come from energy conservation. Initially they have potential energy, finally they will have kinetic energy. But both are going to have some different velocities. From where we are going to have the another equation? So we'll get the equation from where? The momentum conservation, right? Because for this complete system there are no external forces, only internal forces. This is going to apply some force on this particle, this is going to apply some force on this particle. Clear? So there is no net external force. Initially they are saying both are released from rest, means initial momentum of the system was 0, final momentum should also be 0. So let's say when they are at infinite separation, Q has some velocity v1 in this direction and 2Q has some velocity v2 in this direction. Its mass is m, its mass is 4m. So first we'll apply the momentum conservation. So P initial is equal to P final. P initial was 0, P final is mv1, or we can write minus mv1 plus 4m into v2. 4m into v2. So from here what we are getting? 4m or mm will get cancelled. So we have 4v2 is equal to v1. 4v2 is equal to v1. Now energy conservation. So initially what we have? We have potential energy. So K Q 2Q divided by R is equal to half. Initially this is the potential energy. What is the kinetic energy? It is 0. Finally what is the potential energy? It is 0. And kinetic energy half mv1 square plus half 4m v2 square. From here we can write v1 is equal to half m, v1 is equal to 4v2. So 16 v2 square plus half 4m v2 square. So from here we have this is equals to 2kq square by r. So from here we can write 8m v2 square plus 2m v2 square. 10m v2 square is equal to 2kq square by r. From here this will be 5. So we have to find out what will the kinetic energy of Q at infinite separation. Okay, kinetic energy of Q. Kinetic energy of Q means what we need to find out? Half m v1 square. Half m v1 square. Now from here we can see that half m v1 can be written as 4 v2 square. So it will be 16 v2 square. So basically we need to find out 8m v2 square. We need to find out 8m v2 square. So from here we have m v2 square is equal to kq square by 5r. So 8m v2 square is equal to 8kq square by 5r. है ना? 8m v2 square is equal to 8kq square by 5r. So from here we will get kinetic energy of Q at infinite separation will be equal to 8kq square divided by 5r, which is given in the first option. So basically concept is this कि आपको क्या लगाना है? Energy conservation, momentum conservation. After that you can have different methods to find out the kinetic energy. आप डायरेक्टली इस इक्वेशन को लगा के यहाँ से डायरेक्टली कर सकते थे, है ना? v1 v2 की जगह हमने we have replaced v1. Instead of that you could have replaced v2 with help of v1. In that way you can find out the kinetic energy. Question number 13. 2 points P and Q are maintained at the potential of 10 volt and minus 4 volt. 10 volt and minus 4 volt. The work done in moving 100 electrons from P to Q, from here to here, the work done in moving 100 electrons from P to Q is. So simply what we'll do? Work done, we can write work done will be equal to Q into potential difference, है ना? Q into delta V. पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस कितना है? तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास आ रहा है डेल्टा V इज इक्वल टू V फाइनल माइनस V इनिशियल विच इज इक्वल टू माइनस 4 वोल्ट माइनस 10 वोल्ट विच इज इक्वल टू माइनस 14 वोल्ट, है ना? सो हमारे पास आ जाएगा वर्क डन इज इक्वल टू Q इंटू डेल्टा V. Q इज माइनस E, है ना? माइनस E की वैल्यू आप लिख लो यहाँ पे, इंटू डेल्टा V इज माइनस 14 volt, so आ जाएगा 14E. It will be 14E, and when you will solve it, you will get 2.24 2.24 into 10 to the power minus 16 जूल, है ना. सो 14E इसको आप सॉल्व करोगे. ओके, सो दिस इज द वर्क डन in carrying one electron. This is the work done in carrying one electron. If you do it for 100 electron, so total work done will be equal to 14E into 100. है ना, ये एक चीज मिस हो रही थी. So 14E, this is the work done to carry one electron from here to here. And for 100, the total work done will be equal to work done for 1 into 100. So in that case, you will be getting this as answer. Question number 14. For the situation shown in the given figure, choose the correct alternatives. So we have electric field lines, something like this. This is point A and this is point B. So we have to tell the relation between electric field at A and B and potential difference at A and B. So from here you can see if we have more denser electric field lines, if we have denser electric field lines, it means at that point electric field is more. So electric field, here density is more, here density is less. So EA is definitely greater than EB because density is here more, higher density. Now when we talk about potential, so when we move in the direction of electric field, ये भी आपने पढ़ा हुआ है, when we move in the direction of electric field, potential decreases. Potential decreases. It means when you are moving from here to here, it means when you are moving from A to B, potential will decrease. So potential at A will be greater than potential at B. So answer will be third option, EA greater than EB, BA greater than EB. This is also a very simple problem. Next we will see question number 15. An electric charge 10 to the power minus 3 microcoulomb is placed at the origin 0, 0 of xy coordinate system. 2 points A and B are situated at root 2, root 2 and 2, 0 respectively. The potential difference between the 2 points A and B will be. So here what we will see, if we talk about the potential at a point because of a point charge, what it will be? It will be KQ by R. So Q is fixed, K is fixed, it will depend on the R. So if we see here, R means the distance of that point from the charge. So if we see here, what is this distance? This is root 2. This is root 2. So this distance will be root 2 square plus root 2 square. It means root of 2 plus 2, that is root of 4, that is equal to 2. So this distance is 2 as well as this distance is 2. So for both the points, R is same. If R is same, it means for both the points KQ by R is same, it means potential difference will be 0 when we talk about point A and B. So answer will be 0. Question number 16. Two particles A and B having equal masses have charges Q and 4Q. If these are accelerated from rest through some potential difference, then what will be the ratio of their speeds? So when they will accelerate through some same potential difference, they will gain some kinetic energy. है ना? They will gain some kinetic energy. So if they are moving through same potential difference, question number 16, one is Q, another is 4Q. One is Q, another is 4Q. So work done on them will be how much? Q delta V, and work done on 2 will be Q delta 4Q delta V. है ना? 4Q delta V. So work done on this is, let's say it is W, and work done on this is 4W. It is 4W. So it will be kinetic energy of 1, it will be kinetic energy of 2. So kinetic energy of 2 is 4 times so this is W is kinetic energy of 1. So I can replace here W by kinetic energy 1. So I can write 4 times kinetic energy of 1. So kinetic energy of second particle is 4 times kinetic energy of first particle. है ना? And they are having equal masses. So if they are having equal masses and kinetic energy of second particle is 4 times kinetic energy of first particle, it means speed of second particle is 2 times of speed of first particle. है ना? क्या है यहाँ पे? half m v1 square and half m v2 square. Now half m v2 square is 4 times half m v1 square. So what I write? Half m 4 v1 square. So half m 2 v1 square is equal to half m V2 square. It means half m cancel. So V2 is equal to 2v1. So velocity of second particle or speed of second particle is twice the speed of first particle. Definitely अगर दो same masses हैं, if you have two same masses and kinetic energy of first is kinetic energy of one is 4 times kinetic energy of the other particle, it means speeds are in the ratio of 2:1. So your speed will be in the ratio of, if you talk about the speed of this is to this, speed of this will be v, then speed of this will be 2v. Then only kinetic energy of this will be k, then kinetic energy of this will be 4k. And why it is happening? We have seen if they are passing from the same potential difference, work done on this will be how much? Work done on this will be q delta v, and on this it will be 4q delta v. So if it is w, it will be 4w. So जितना work done उतनी वो kinetic energy gain करेगा. So if it is gaining kinetic energy k, then kinetic energy which is gained by the second particle, it is 4k. So यहाँ फटाफट कर सकते हो, है ना? इसको जल्दी जल्दी सोचना है दिमाग में कि what difference will come when if charge q and 4q are passing from the same potential difference. So immediately it should click in your mind that it is going to have 4 times work done. It means 4 times kinetic energy. It means 2 times speed. That's it. Question number 17. 8-point charges having equal magnitude q are fixed at vertices of a cube. The electric flux through square surface A, B, C, D is. So this type of questions you have done in the lectures. So here what we'll do? First we'll see that because of these 4 charges, the flux through ABCD will be 0, because of these 4 charges there is no flux which is going to cut this surface ABCD. Now let's focus on these 4 charges. So if you see here, to calculate the flux, if we are able to make a symmetric surface, a symmetric closed surface, then we can find out the flux through Gauss law. So what we'll do, we'll make a symmetric structure around this charge and we'll find out the flux. So if you see here, we have this charge is kept at this particular corner. So we have a cube here. Now what we have done, we have assumed that another cube we have here, again another cube in this side, another cube in this side. Now similar structure on top of this. So how many cubes we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. है ना? These are inside, and there will be another set of this particular structure on top of this. Clear? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now this ABCD, now we have a bigger cube which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cubes in that. So if you see here, we will have this surface, and again here one surface, here one surface. So the top face of the new and bigger cube, on its center we have this charge. On its center we have this charge. So this charge is kept on the bigger cube. And if you see here, ABCD is 1/4 part of this phase. So here we'll have 1, 2, and again 1, 2. So the upper surface of the new cube ABCD is 1/4 of that. So first what we'll do, we'll find out the flux due to this charge from the complete cube, then from one face of that bigger cube, and then from ABCD. So if you see here, we have flux through the complete cube will be definitely q by epsilon naught. We are just talking about this charge, flux due to this charge. So it will be q by epsilon naught. If you talk about one face of that complete cube, it will be, we have 6 phases. So it will be q by epsilon naught into 1 by 6. Now this is the flux from one face of the cube. This is because of one face. Now we know that this face contains 4 ABCD type of surface. So this one face contains, or this one face is 4 times ABCD. Clear? This one face is 4 times ABCD. So from ABCD, how much it will have? The flux will be 1/4. ये एक फेस से हुआ, and एक फेस का 1/4 है ABCD. तो 1/4 will be the flux from ABCD. Now we have 4 such charges. We can make the same, or we can assume the same structure for this charge, same structure for this charge, same structure for this charge, because all those are symmetric, all those have the same situation, same position with respect to this ABCD. So now we have 4 such charges. So total flux will be, this is because of one charge and this is because of 4 charges. So what we will get? Q by 6 epsilon naught. Q by 6 epsilon naught. So in such cases we have to assume, we have to make a structure so that we have symmetric surface, closed surface around that particular charge, and then we'll use the Gauss law and we'll be able to find out the flux. So answer will be Q by 6 epsilon naught. Now question number 18. So here we have a line charge and around which we have a cylinder. Electric charge is uniformly distributed along a straight wire of radius 1 mm. Its radius is 1 mm. The charge per centimeter length of the wire is Q. So sigma is equal to Q divided by per centimeter. Per centimeter मतलब 1 by 100 meter, है ना? So Q coulomb, it means I can say 100 Q coulomb per meter. This is the sigma or lambda in case of linear charge density. Another cylindrical surface of radius 50 centimeter. So it is R is equal to 50 centimeter. So basically this is very thin with respect to this. So it is a thin wire because we can see radius, its radius is 1 mm, its radius is 50 centimeter. And length 1 meter. Length of the cylinder is 1 meter. Symmetrically encloses the wire as shown in the figure. The total electric flux passing through the cylindrical surface is. So simply Q by epsilon naught we have to do. Now we will see how much charge is enclosed inside this cylinder. How much charge is enclosed. And whatever is the flux because of this surface and because of this surface, it will get cancelled. We will have flux because of this surface only. So now we will find out the charge enclosed. So this length is 1 meter. This length is 1 meter. So Q will be equal to how much? Lambda into length. So lambda is 100 Q, है ना? I'll write Q enclosed. So 100 Q, है ना? 100 Q coulomb per meter, मतलब 100 Q only. 1 meter में कितना charge है? So it is 100 Q. So 100 Q and we need to find out flux, which will be Q enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So it will be 100 Q divided by epsilon naught. Simply this much charge is enclosed in this part of the cylinder, and Q enclosed divided by epsilon naught will be your answer. So 100 Q by epsilon naught. Question number 19. What is the electric flux linked with closed surface? So we have a closed surface inside which we have 1.25 coulomb, 7 coulomb, 1 coulomb and minus 0.4 coulomb. Here we have 6 coulomb and 7 coulomb. So what is the flux linked with closed surface? This surface. So again it is very simple question. Q enclosed by epsilon naught. Q enclosed is 7, 8, 9.25 minus 0.4. So 9.25 minus 0.4 divided by epsilon naught. So here we have 8.85 divided by epsilon naught, and value of epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. When it will go up, it will be 10 to the power 12. So what we'll get? Flux is equal to 10 to the power 12. है ना? Flux आ गया 10 to the power 12. Again this is a very simple question. If the electric field is given by 5 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 9 k cap, the electric flux through a surface of area 20 unit lying in the yz plane. If it is lying in the yz plane, then area vector will be perpendicular to its plane. So area vector will be 20, which is its magnitude, and in I cap, because the surface is lying in the yz plane. Which axis is perpendicular to yz? It is x. So area vector will be in the 20 I cap direction. Now electric field is 5I 4j 9k. Now when you are finding out the flux, what we do? E dot A. So E dot A will be, यहाँ पे J और K तो है नहीं, so this will be 0. 20 I cap plus 0 J cap plus 0 K cap. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, and 5 into 20 it will be 100. Just dot product. So this into this 100. So it will be 100 units. Question number 21. Find electric field at point P which is situated at r distance from center perpendicular to the plane of hexagon where r greater than A. So here we have side of the hexagon equals to A, and we have to take a point which is at distance r perpendicular to the plane of the hexagon, which is situated at a distance r from the center perpendicular to the plane of hexagon. Correct? So here we have, somewhere here we have a point on which we are trying to find out the electric field. Clear? So there are two ways you can find out individually because of all these charges. है ना? If this distance is A, if this is A, all of them will be equal to A. This is A. All of them are A because this angle is 60 degrees. And again these two sides are same, so this is 60. So all these sides are equals to A as well as these are equals to A. So if you have this is A, this is R, you can find out the distance of that point from every charge and you can find out the resultant because of all the charges, and that will be a tedious process. So now what else we can do? So if you see here, it is given that R is very much greater than A. Okay, R is very much greater than A. It means this distance is very small compared to this one. So here this 2A, this length is 2A. So pair of this Q and minus Q, Q and minus Q, Q and minus Q can be considered as dipoles. We have 3 dipoles, and if you see this dipole, the point is on the equatorial position at a distance r. The point is at equatorial position at a distance, at equatorial position at a distance r, and we can find out the field because of that. So now what we have, if you see here at equatorial position, if this is one charge, this is another charge, minus Q, and at equatorial position, what will be the direction of field because of this dipole? It will be in this direction. Correct? So let's say it is E, it will be in this direction. So now if you see here, this pair, the direction of dipole moment is minus 2 plus. So direction is here. Direction of dipole moment is here. So E will be in this direction. E will be in this direction. For this pair, dipole moment has this direction. So E will be in this direction. Dipole moment is in this direction. So E will be in this direction. Now this is 60. This is 60. Clear? So we have 3 vectors. E. Now with this at 60 degree again E. Now with this again at 60 degree E. Correct? So now if you see here, these two, ये हो गया 1, 2 and 3. 1 and 3 are having 120 degree angle between them. ठीक है? 1 and 3 are having 120 degree angle between them, and they have same magnitudes. What will be the resultant? Resultant will be, if this is E, angle is 120 degree, the resultant will be E and it will pass at angle bisector. So resultant of this and this can be written as again E in this direction. This is resultant of 1 and 3, and already we have E in this direction, that is also at 60 degree. Resultant of this and this will be in this direction and it will be equal to E, and already we have 1 E in this direction. So we have total 2 E in this direction. 2 E in this direction. Now what is the value of E? Now E will be, so if you see here, this E will be equal to how much? E is equal to Kp divided by R cube. Kp divided by R cube. So now here we have 2E. Total field is, E total is 2E, which is equals to 2 Kp by R cube, and if you see here, P is equal to Q and minus Q, and distance between them is 2A. So Q into 2A. So if you write that here, 2K into Q2A divided by R cube, so it will be 4KQA by R cube. 4KQA divided by R cube, which is given in the first option. Now question number 22. In question number 22, we have in the figure electric field lines of line charges electric field lines of three charges are as shown. Q1 is equal to 8 millicoulomb, Q2, Q3 is equal to minus 12 millicoulomb. Then what is the magnitude of Q2? So here if you see from 8 millicoulomb we have how many field lines? 4. From at 12 millicoulomb how many field lines are ending? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ठीक है? And on Q2 how many field lines are generating from there? 3. ठीक है? So 6, 12, 4, 8. So 3 it will be 6 millicoulomb. Like that only we are going to do. Because electric field lines, how many electric field lines will generate or terminate, it is not fixed. That is just an assumption to understand the electric field lines. But if it is given like this, then we have to relate that for 8 millicoulomb we have 4 lines. For 12 millicoulomb we have 6 lines. If there are 3 lines, it means charge will be how much? 6 millicoulomb. So answer will be first, 6 millicoulomb. Question number 23. A ring of charge with radius 0.5 meter has a gap 0.002 pi meter. So there is a gap in the ring. I have represented this gap with the help of this hole. If the ring carries a charge plus 10 coulomb, it has a charge plus 10 coulomb, the electric field at the center is. So now basically what will happen if we have complete ring, and it is uniformly distributed, then all those parts will apply a same force. This part will apply some force and this will apply the same force in opposite direction. So field at the center will become 0. Now what will happen? Because of the parts which are here, exactly opposite part will cancel the electric field of this. This will have some electric field, this will have equal and opposite electric field. But for this part there won't be any field or any charge which will be able to cancel the effect of this. So basically we are going to have, because of this field or this gap only, we are going to have some net electric field on this center, correct? Now if you see here, only the part which is exactly opposite to this gap, only this part will have some resultant electric field at the center. Other than that, all of them will get cancelled. So how much charge or how much part? This much part. So this much part on the opposite side, here we have a hole. So on this much part at opposite side, it will apply some field here, and because of which there will be some resultant field, because the opposite part is not able to apply that field. And this length is very small compared to this complete ring, so we can consider this as a point charge. What we'll consider? कि इसने इसके इफेक्ट को कैंसिल कर दिया, and now here we have an extra point charge जिसका इफेक्ट यहाँ वाला point charge कैंसिल नहीं कर पा रहा है, and because of which we are going to have a net resultant field. So now in this gap charge will be how much? So we have density lambda is equal to 10 coulomb divided by 2 pi r into 0.002 into pi, है ना? 10, this is the density and this will be the charge in the gap. ठीक है? So what it will be? pi से pi cancel हो गया, 10 से ये cancel हो गया. So here we have 0.01 divided by 0.5 is the radius. So again what we'll get? We'll have 1 by 50, है ना? 1 by 50. So Q is equal to 1 by 50. So now electric field is equal to K Q by R square. So now here we have 9 into 10 to the power 9 into Q is equal to 1 by 50 into R square. So R square is the distance, which is again 0.25. So from here if you solve it, you will get E is equal to 7.2 into 10 to the power 8 Newton per coulomb. The field, because of this gap, other than that all the parts will cancel the field due to each other. This part has no charge on the opposite side, that's why we will have a resultant field only because of this point, and we can consider this as a point charge. So answer will be second option. Question number 24. Two identical conducting balls A and B have positive charges theta theta 1 and theta 2 respectively, where theta 1 is not equal to theta 2. The balls are brought together so that they touch each other and then kept in their original positions. The force between them is greater than before, less than before, equal to before. So these relations we have to find out. So what is going to happen? When the metallic or the conducting balls will touch each other, the charge will get transferred, and now both will have, because both are identical, both will have same charge. Charge will flow until the potentials are not same, and if they are the same or identical balls, then charges on the both the balls will be same. So total charge is how much? Total charge is theta 1 plus theta 2. So when redistribution of charge will happen, it will be theta 1 plus theta 2 by 2 on both or on each. So initially, let's say they were kept at r distance. So F1 will be equal to k theta 1 or q1 q2 by r square, and finally F2 is equal to how much? K, charge on first is q1 plus q2 by 2, charge on second is q1 plus q2 by 2. So k, q1, q2 by, again they are kept at the original separation. So this is the new force. So if you see here, new force F2 is equal to k times q1 plus q2 whole square divided by 4r square, and F1 is k q1 q2 by r square. Now this thing you must know, to solve this problem you must know that from here we will get q1 plus q2 by 2 whole square is greater than q1 q2. Now how I am writing this? We have one identity, a square plus b square is greater than 2ab. a square plus b square is greater than 2ab. ये आपका अरिथमेटिक मीन, ज्योमेट्रिक मीन इस सब से आता है. So a square plus b square is greater than 2ab. यहाँ पे अगर मैंने क्या किया, if I add 2ab on both sides, so a square plus b square plus 2ab greater than 2ab plus 2ab. Both side I have added 2ab. So now I can write a plus b whole square is greater than 4ab, and I can write a plus b by 2 whole square is greater than ab. है ना? I have taken this 4 in down and squared, taken 2 inside and squared. So it is greater than ab. So it is satisfying this condition. So this a person should know, then they will be able to solve this. So what will happen? A plus b or q1 plus q2 by 2 whole square is greater than q1 q2. That's why F2 will be greater than F1. So the second charge is now q1 plus q2 by 2. So force in second case will be greater than force in the first case, or greater than, the force between them is greater than before the balls touched. So answer will be second option. Now next is question number 25. A point charge QA is equal to 2 microcoulomb is placed at a point A 3,3, and another charge QB 3 microcoulomb is placed at 2,5. If distances are in SI units, the electrostatic force on A due to B is, so electrostatic force on A due to B. So A is 3,3 and B is 2,5, and here we have 3 microcoulomb and here we have 2 microcoulomb. So this is one point, this is another point. So electrostatic force on A due to B. So on A due to B will be something like this, in this direction, है ना? So we have to find out this vector if you want to find out the force with magnitude as well as direction. So we will have to find out this vector. So R vector will be what? R vector will be R final minus R initial. It means RA minus RB. This is the final position. You know, something like this you have. This is RA, this is RB. So R will be equal to RA minus RB. So now here we have 3, 3 minus 2, 5. So R vector will be equal to I cap minus 2j cap. So this is what the r vector. Clear? Now force is equal to how much? Force is equal to kq1 q2 kq1 q2 by r cube into r वेक्टर. यही होता है. ठीक है, तो हमारे पास आ गया 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 3 into 10 to the power minus 6 divided by r cube. Now magnitude कितना होगा? This is r. So mod of r will be equal to how much? 1 square plus 2 square to the power half, which is equal to root 5. So root 5 की power 3, it means 5 root 5 into r vector. So r vector is I cap minus 2j cap. So from here if you do this, 54 divided by 5 root 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 into I cap minus 2j cap will be the answer. It is given in the second option. Question number 26. Three charged particles are in equilibrium under their electrostatic forces only. The particles must be collinear. All the charges cannot have the same magnitude. All the charges cannot have the same sign. All of these. So if we have three charges which are in equilibrium only because of the electrostatic forces, then what is the conditions? So let's say we have two charges randomly kept. So if we have two charges, definitely we can say they are on the line. Just connect them. So let's say it is Q1, this is Q2. So they are in the line. Now it will apply some force on this. So it will be either in this direction or in this direction. If Q1 is applying some force on Q2, it will be either along the line in this direction or in this direction. Definitely it is going to be parallel to the line. Similarly on this, force will be something like this or like this. So let's say because of Q2, force on Q1 is this one. So we need a charge such that this force is getting cancelled. Now if we keep third charge here, then what will happen? It will apply some force either in this direction or in this direction. Either it will attract or repel. So it cannot completely cancel this component. It means this charge must be kept somewhere on this line only. Somewhere on this line only. So it means the particles must be collinear. All the charges cannot have the same magnitude. Now let's say I am taking Q1 and Q2. Let's say this is positive, this is negative, first case. Second case, this is positive, this is positive. Third case, this is negative, this is negative. Okay? We have taken the condition of first two charges. Now, if we see on this charge, definitely they are going to attract each other. Here they are going to repel each other. Here they are going to repel each other. Clear? Now, to keep this in equilibrium, we need to have a charge. Let's say we have a positive charge. If I have a positive charge, where should I keep that charge? If I have a positive charge, that positive charge will repel this. Now I want that repulsion should be in this direction. So either I can keep that charge here, like let's say Q3 मैंने यहाँ पे रखा, which was positive. Now it will repel this. So possibly it can cancel the component, but it is going to attract this. So the resultant on this will increase. So we cannot keep it here. Definitely we cannot keep it here. अगर Q3 positive है मैंने यहाँ रखा, it will repel this and this cannot come into equilibrium. So this Q3, if this is positive, it should be kept here. If this is positive, then it will attract this and it will repel this. It can cancel this one can cancel this depending on the magnitude of Q3. ठीक है? So this is possible. Now if that charge is negative, then negative है तो यहाँ रखना पड़ेगा. I am just showing you the cases. थोड़ा सा clear हो जाएगा. Negative है तो यहाँ रखना पड़ेगा. It will attract this and repel this. Clear? Now if in this case if we have positive charge तो यहाँ पे रखेंगे definitely. इसको भी repel अगर यहाँ पे हमारे पास है positive charge और हमने यहाँ रख दिया, इसको भी repel करेगा, इसको भी repel करेगा. Both will not be in equilibrium. If we keep here, इसको repel करेगा, but इसको भी repel करेगा. So this cannot come in equilibrium. So here we need negative charge, which should be kept here. So इसको attract किया, इसको attract किया, cancel. Here we need positive charge, which should be kept here, इसको अट्रैक्ट किया, इसको अट्रैक्ट किया, कैंसिल. सो दीज आर द कंडीशंस. सो दे शुड बी कोलिनियर, दे कैन नॉट हैव द सेम साइन, दे कैन नॉट हैव द सेम मैग्नीट्यूड. नाउ इट विल डिपेंड कि हम लोग यहाँ पे लेट्स से Q1 Q2 हमने सेम रख लिया, दिस इज Q1, दिस इज Q2, हमने दोनों को सेम रख लिया, दिस इज Q एंड दिस इज Q. ठीक है. नाउ अगर यहाँ पे हमने लगा इस पे इन दोनों के बीच फोर्स कितना काम करे, F इज इक्वल टू के क्यू स्क्वायर बाई आर स्क्वायर, दिस इज डिस्टेंस r. Force which is acting between them is kq square by r square. Now I need a force, या फिर हम इसकी बात करते हैं क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम बीच में रख रहे हैं ना, तो हम सीधा r/2 डिस्टेंस ले लेंगे. So let's say we have a charge q3, here q, here q. So force is what? kq square by r square. Now here force due to q3 which should be balanced, which should balance this force. On this charge we have force F kq square by r square. Because of this, now we need a charge q3 such that it will be able to balance this force. So F due to 3 should be equal to kq square by r square. But यहाँ पे क्या है, q3 divided by r by 2 square. So now what we have, kq square by r square is equal to q3 by r square into 4. kq cancel, r square cancel, q3 is equal to आ रहा है q by 4, है ना, q by 4. So all these three, अगर ये दोनों भी equal हो गए, third one will have to vary from them and they will not be able to have the same magnitude, है ना. और ये क्वेश्चन आपने इतनी, you must have done these types of questions many times, तो आपको आइडिया लग गया होगा अब तक कि इतना सॉल्व करने की हमें जरूरत नहीं है. अगर यहाँ पे आप कोई चार्ज प्लेस करते हो, it should have a different magnitude, otherwise it won't be able to cancel the force due to the first two charges. So all of those are correct. और इसको अच्छे से समझ के आप इसके बाद दिमाग में रख सकते हो, है ना, कि कैसे चीजें आती हैं. So the particles must be collinear, all the charges cannot have the same magnitude, all the charges cannot have the same sign. जब हमने पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव लिया, वी नीडेड पॉजिटिव लिया, वी नीडेड नेगेटिव. जब पॉजिटिव लिया, इन दैट केस आइदर वी कैन हैव अ पॉजिटिव चार्ज टू मेंटेन इक्विलिब्रियम और वी कैन हैव अ नेगेटिव चार्ज टू मेंटेन इक्विलिब्रियम. पहले दो चार्ज अगर हमने अलग ले लिए, इट मींस दे आर नॉट हैविंग द सेम साइन. सो आंसर विल बी ऑल ऑफ दीज. क्वेश्चन नंबर 27, two balls carrying charges +7 microcoulomb and -5 microcoulomb attract each other with a force F. So हमारे पास है 7 microcoulomb and -5 microcoulomb. They are attracting each other with a force F. If a -2 microcoulomb added to this as well as this. So now what will have, net charge will be equal to 5 microcoulomb and -7 microcoulomb. So again magnitude of the charges, पहले 7 - 5 था, अभी 5 - 7 है. So force, the magnitude of force is not going to change. पहले क्या था, k5 7 by r square, अभी है k5 7 by r square, 7 5 5 7. So it is, the magnitude of force is going to remain the same. So the force between them will be F by 2 2F 0. So it is F. Question number 28. Find the correct relation. 1 coulomb is equal to 10 absolute coulomb. So ये theoretical question है, थोड़ा याद रख लेंगे. So 1 absolute coulomb, लिख लेंगे इस चीज को. 1 absolute coulomb is equal to 10 coulomb. And 1 electrostatic unit, या फिर आप लिख लो 1 coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 electrostatic unit. 1 absolute coulomb is equal to 10 coulomb and 1 coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 electrostatic unit. So first is 1 coulomb is equal to 10 absolute coulomb, that is wrong. 1 electrostatic unit is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 coulomb, wrong. 1 absolute coulomb is equal to 1 electrostatic unit, wrong. 1 coulomb is equal to 1 by 10 absolute coulomb. So this is correct. 1 coulomb is equal to 1 by 10 absolute coulomb. Question number 29. If dimensions of critical velocity Vc of liquid flowing through a tube is expressed as eta to the power x, rho to the power y, r to the power z, where eta, rho and r are coefficient of viscosity, density and radius of tube respectively, the value of x plus y plus z is. So this is the question of units and dimensions. So आपको थोड़ा बहुत eta वगैरह पता होना चाहिए, then we will be able to do it. So Vc is expressed as eta to the power x, rho to the power y and r to the power z. So eta is equal to क्या था, हम लोगों को पता है कि viscous force is equal to आता था eta a dv divided by dx. ठीक है, so from here I can write eta is equal to f by a dx by dv, है ना. So eta I can write, ये हो गया m l t minus 2, again l, तो ये आ गया divided by, this is l square and this is l t minus 1. So from here I can write m l minus 1 t minus 1. So eta is m l minus 1 t minus 1. ठीक है. Rho is meter kg per meter cube, so m l minus 3 and r is l. Now this Vc is l t minus 1, speed ही है ना ये तो. So from here m l minus 1 t minus 1 x m l minus 3 y and l z is equal to l t minus 1. So from here we can write x plus y is equal to 0 minus x minus 3y plus z is equal to 1 and minus x is equal to minus 1. So x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 1, x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 1. तो यहाँ से हमारे पास आ जाएगा minus 1 plus 3 plus z is equal to 1. So z is equal to 2 minus 3 minus 1. So we have 1 minus 1 and minus 1. So यहाँ पे हमें x plus y plus z पूछा है, तो this plus this plus this will get minus 1. x plus y plus z is equal to minus 1. Question number 30. A vernier caliper has 1 mm marks on the main scale. If it has 20 equal divisions on the vernier scale, which matches with 16 main scale divisions. For this vernier caliper, the least count. So least count of vernier caliper कैसे निकालेंगे हम? 1 main scale division minus 1 vernier scale division. So here we have 20 equal divisions on the vernier scale. Vernier scale पे 20 equal divisions हैं, which are matching with 16 divisions of main scale, which is matching with 16 main scale divisions. Now, one main scale division is equal to 1 mm. 16 main scale division is equal to 16 mm, and now it is matching with 20 vernier scale division. मतलब one vernier scale division is equal to 16 by 20 mm. ठीक है, which is equals to 4 by 5 or 0.8 mm. 0.8 mm. Now least count will be equal to 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. So it is 1 mm minus 0.8 mm, which is equal to 0.2 mm. Clear है ये चीज? क्या किया हमने? One main scale division is 1 mm. It is directly given in the question. Now they are saying that 16, the vernier scale has 16 division. I'm sorry, the vernier scale has 20 divisions. Vernier scale has 20 divisions, which is matching with 16 main scale division. Now one main scale division is 1 mm. 16 main scale division will be 16 mm. 16 mm of main scale division is equal to 20 division of vernier scale division. So now from there, one vernier scale division will have how much value? 0.8 mm. So least count will be this much. Now question number 31. If the errors involved in the measurement of side and mass of a cube are 3% and 4% respectively, what is the maximum permissible error in the density of material? So density will be equal to mass per length, mass divided by length cube, क्योंकि क्यूब का वॉल्यूम क्या होता है? L cube. So when you will do it, हम लोग जब परसेंटेज एरर निकालेंगे, d rho by rho into 100 is equal to dm by m into 100 plus 3 times, इसका जो पावर है 3 times into dl by l into 100. So now it is given that this is 3%, side is 3% and this is 4%. So this is 4% and this is 3%. So क्या आएगा हमारे पास? It will be 4 plus 3 times 3, which is equals to 13%. So d rho by rho into 100, क्या percentage error, maximum possible percentage error is equal to, or here you can write plus minus, है ना? So it will be plus minus 13%. क्लियर है चीज? जो भी पावर होती है उसको बाहर लेकर के dl by l into 100. ठीक, all the errors will get added. So answer will be 13%. A body of mass, question number 32. A body of mass m is equal to 3.513 kg is moving along x-axis with speed 5.00 meter per second. The magnitude of its momentum is best recorded as, the magnitude of its momentum, magnitude will be m into v. So 3.513 into 5.00. So यहाँ से हमारे पास आ जाएगा 17.565. Now when we are the magnitude of its momentum is best recorded as, when we talk about significant figures and when we are taking the product, we will see the quantity which has the least significant figures. So here we have 4 significant figures, here we have 3, है ना? So answer में भी क्या होना चाहिए? It should be 3. So ये तो already है. So we have to round it off so that we have 3 significant figures. So 17.565. So अगर आप इसको round off करोगे तो what will get? Will get 17.6, which is given in the fourth option. और अगर आप यहाँ directly देखो, we need only 3 significant figures in the answer, and it is given only in one option, that is 4. बाकी सब में first में we have 5 significant figures, second में 4, third में 4, and in fourth we have only 3 significant figures. So when we are multiplying, we will see the quantity which has least significant figures, and answer should have the significant figures equals to least significant figures when we are multiplying the quantities. है ना? तो यहाँ पे जैसे यहाँ पे क्या है 3 है. Now question number 33. If force F, work W and velocity V are taken as fundamental quantities, then the dimensional formula of time is. So force, work and velocity are the fundamental quantities. So force, work and velocity. ठीक है? So force we can write ml(t minus 2), work is ml(2t minus 2), and v is lt minus 1. ठीक है? Then dimensional formula of time t is. ठीक है? Now here if we see, here we have m. So we need to cancel this. So definitely they are going to be in reverse. So if this has x as its power, then this will have minus x as its power. So first option is not possible. W and F should have exactly opposite power with opposite sign. So first option is wrong because it has WFV, wrong. Second, WF V minus, wrong. Third, W minus 1, F minus 1, V minus 1, again wrong. So we have only fourth option, W, F minus 1, V minus 1. So these should have opposite. So let's try if fourth is correct or not. So M, L, 2, T minus 2, W into F minus 1. F minus 1 means M minus 1, L minus 1, T plus 2 and V minus 1. So L minus 1, T plus 1. So from here we have M minus 1, L2 and from here it will get cancelled. T minus 2, T plus 2. See, we have T plus 1, which is dimensional formula for time. Question number 34. A gas bubble from an explosion underwater oscillates with a period proportional to, period means time period definitely, so P proportional to T to the power A, D to the power B and E to the power C, where this is static pressure, so it will have quantity of or units of pressure, D is density and this is energy. Then what is the value of A, B and C? So this is time, this is pressure, this is density, this is energy. So we should have T is equal to pressure. Pressure is M L T minus 2 divided by F by area. So it will be F by area. This is F by area. So L2 to the power A. फिर density. Density is M by L cube to the power B and M L2 T minus 2 to the power C. So from here M to the power A, B and C. So A plus B plus C is equal to 0. Here we have 0. L to the power, here it will become minus 1. Here it will become minus 3. So we have minus A minus 3B plus 2C is equal to 0 and minus 2A minus 2C is equal to 1. Clear? Now we will solve these two equations. So here we have A and C. We will remove B from here. So 3, 3, 3. This will get cancelled. So here we have 2A plus 5C is equal to 0. So now we will get 3C is equal to 1. So C is equal to 1 by 3. C is equal to 1 by 3. It is given in the two options, one and first and second. So we will have to find out one more quantity. So if C is equal to 1 by 3, from here what we can write, minus 2A minus 2 by 3 is equal to 1. So minus 2A is equal to 5 by 3 and A is equal to minus 5 by 6. So A is equal to minus 5 by 6 and C is equal to 1 by 3 is given in the only first option. So first option will be the correct answer. Question number 35. The velocity of a particle V at an instant t is given as V is equal to AT plus BT square. The dimensions of B. So its dimension should be LT minus 1, LT minus 1, LT minus 1. So here we have B into T2 is equal to LT minus 1. So now what we'll get? B is equal to LT minus 3. So it is very simple. ऐसी चीजें तो आप कर करके थक चुके हो अब, ठीक है ना? यहाँ पे क्या है? Already this should be same as velocity. एक एक्स्ट्रा t स्क्वायर है तो t स्क्वायर को नीचे लेके जाओ. So we'll have t cube in denominator. So it's B should have dimension equals to LT minus 3. Fourth option. Question number 36. A new system of units is proposed in which unit of mass is alpha kg, unit of length is beta meter and unit of time is gamma second. What will be the value of 5 joule in the new system? What will be the value of 5 joule in the new system? So let's say its value is x. initially 5 joule. 5 joule is nothing but 5 kg meter per second square. Kg meter square, 5 kg meter square per second square. Now let's say, now in new system also it should have the same value. आपकी units plus quantity, unit plus number मिला के the whole thing should be same. It should not change. So let's say it is x. So x into new unit mass into square of unit length divided by square of unit time. Basically यही है ना, unit mass unit length square by unit time square. ठीक है. When you will represent the quantity in new way, when you represent the quantity in new system of units, how we will write x into this unit mass square of unit length square of unit time, correct? And in that case the value will change because you have changed the units. ठीक है. So now 5 kg per meter square is equal to divided by second square x. Now unit mass in new system is alpha kg. Unit length in new system is beta meter and unit time in new system is gamma second. Now kg meter square per second square will get cancelled. So x will be equal to the new number which will be represented by writing this value will be equal to 5 gamma square by alpha beta square, or you can write x is equal to 5 alpha power minus 1, beta power minus 2 and gamma power plus 2. So this will be the new value of the new value in the new system, है ना. तो ये क्या आ जाएगा 5 alpha minus 1, beta minus 2, gamma plus 2. Question number 37. For the given function x is equal to t square, the graph between dx by dt and t. So x is equal to t square. So dx by dt is equal to 2t. So dx by dt is equal to 2t. It will be a straight line graph. कैसा बनेगा? Straight line graph passing from origin. Clear ये चीज? Basically क्या है ये? vt कर्व ना? v is equal to 2t. It means 2 is the slope. Intercept is 0. So graph will be straight line passing from origin. Answer will be fourth option. Question number 38. For vt graph shown in the figure, this is 2, 4, 6 time v, this is 10 and this is minus 10. For vt graph shown in the figure, integration 0 to 6 v dt. Integration v dt means area under vt curve. Area under vt curve. From where to where? From time t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 6. मतलब throughout this. Now we can see that this part is completely symmetric, है ना. यहाँ पे this is 2, this is 2, this is minus 10, this is plus 10. So this area is equal to this area. And when you add this is positive area, this is negative area. ये दोनों क्या हो जाएंगे? Cancel. So only this way area will come half into this is 2 into this is minus 10. It will be equal to minus 10. Value will be minus 10, which is given in the second option. When you are calculating just area, then it is a positive quantity. When you are calculating integration, so in that case the area which is below the this independent axis, that will be negative and above it will be positive. Question number 39. If a particle is moving with velocity v is equal to 3t square minus 3t plus 1, then find minimum possible velocity in meter per second. ठीक है. So v is equal to 3t square minus 3t plus 1. Then for minimum possible velocity we will differentiate it. So v is equal to 3t square minus 3t plus 1. So dv by dt is equal to 6t minus 3. Put it 0 to find out the time where maximum or minimum will happen. So here we are getting only one value. So जो भी पूछा है, अगर maximum पूछा है तो definitely at that point maximum will occur. अगर minimum पूछा है तो minimum will occur. So t is equal to half second. So V at t is equal to half second will be how much? 3 by 4 minus 3 by 2 plus 1. So 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2 plus 1 will be 3 by 4 minus half, which will be equal to 1 by 4. 1 by 4 will be the answer. Fourth option is correct. Question number 40. The function y is equal to, y is given by 20x minus 2x square. Find maximum value of function. So again differentiate it. dy by dx is equal to 20 minus 4x is equal to 0. So x will be equal to 5. Then maximum value will be y is equal to 20 into 5 minus 2 into 25. It will be 50. So maximum value will be 50. Question number 41. The slopes of graph as shown in the figure at point 1, 2 and 3 are m1, m2 and m3. So this is point 1, 2 and 3. So here we have m1, m2 and m3. Then we have to find out relation between them. So here we have slope this, here more, here again more. So m3 is greater than m2 is greater than m1. इसमें कोई मतलब easiest question शायद इस पेपर का. Question number not easiest. You have even easier questions. Question number 42. Find the value of sine 13 pi by 2. Any angle which is multiple of pi by 2, that's then value of any मतलब odd multiple है ना, odd multiple pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2. So all 3 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2 it will have -1 value and pi by 2 उसके बाद हमारे पास 5 pi by 2 it will have +1 value. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे वैसे भी in these option we have only 0, 1, half and √3 by 2. So -1 का ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, तो आपको सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है कि ऊपर वाला pi by 2 है या नीचे वाला pi by 2 है. It will be just +1 because आपके पास -1 is not given in the options. So value of sine 13 pi by 2 is 1. Question number 43. The value of tan 2tan degree. So I can write tan 180 plus 30, and in third quadrant we have tan positive, and 180 से जब आप ऐड करते हो it remains same. So tan 30 which is equal to 1 by √3. So tan 210 will be equal to 1 by √3. तो इतने बेकार क्वेश्चंस हैं आपके पेपर में. नेक्स्ट है क्वेश्चन नंबर 44. यूज द अप्रोक्सीमेशन 1 plus x to the power n is approximately equal to 1 plus nx where mod x is very much less than 1, and find out the value of approximate value of √99. So we have to use 1 plus x to the power n. 1 plus x whole to the power n is approximately equals to 1 plus nx, where mod x is very much less than 1. So we have to find out √99. So it can be written as 99 by 100 into 100. Can I write it like this? Yes. नीचे multiply and नीचे divide and ऊपर multiply किया. So now I can write √0.99 into 100. 100 का रूट क्या जाएगा? 10. So it is 10 √0.99 which is equal to 10 1 minus 0.01 to the power half. Can I write it like this? है ना, 10, or this can be written as this. Now we have 1 plus minus of 0.01. 1 plus minus of 0.01. In place of x we have minus 0.01, and in place of n we have half. So I can write 10 into, this can be written as 1 plus nx. So 1 plus n is half, x is 0.01. So 10 into, or 10 plus 5 into minus 0.01. So it will be 10 minus 0.05. So it will be 9.95. So approximate value of √99 is 9.95. Next है question number 45, the last question, which is again very easy. In the shown diagram, arc length in centimeter will be. So this is 9 centimeter. This angle is 2 pi by 3. So arc length क्या होती है? Arc length is r theta. R is 9 centimeter और सेंटीमीटर में पूछा है. So 9 centimeter into theta is 2 pi by 3. So it will be 6 pi. Arc length is equal to 6 pi. So these were the questions. Last 5 to 6 questions were easiest. है ना, बहुत ही सिंपल बेसिक मैथ्स के क्वेश्चन, एकदम जो आपको when you start your coaching तब आपको बेसिक मैथ्स में कराए जाते हैं. That kind of questions were there. I hope आप लोगों ने सबने अच्छे से सॉल्व किया है पेपर. जो भी दिक्कत है इसमें, अगर इसके बाद भी कुछ चीजें आपके दिमाग में रह गई हो, so you can send the doubts to group or you can send it to me. I'll solve and explain it to you. ठीक है, तो इसी तरीके से रिवीजन करते रहेंगे. आगे जो आपके रिवीजन टेस्ट होंगे वो भी अच्छे से देते रहेंगे, अच्छे से पढ़ाई करेंगे. थैंक यू.